Welcome back to the Grindhouse Podcast. This is our Season 2 finale. Accubus and I will discuss every movie from this season, and we will rank them from best to worst. So join us on the Grindhouse Podcast. We're coming to get you, Barbara.
Welcome back to the Grindhouse Podcast. Today's episode is actually our season finale. Season 2, that's right. We have done 24 episodes so far.
I can't believe that.
I know, right? It's insane. I'm pretty impressed with that. This episode's actually coming to you a week late because two reasons. One, sickness. Everybody here got sick. But two, we're doing a ranking list of all of Season 2's movies. So we had to compile them. We got to get some graphics for it and put a lot of effort into this one because it is our big...
That's it for these ones.
Yeah. So today's grading scale for these movies will be on story, how the story was, kind of just overall. 2, the acting. Got to grade a movie on its acting. 3, the look and feel, set design, shot choices, overall cinematography. And number 4 is just overall enjoyability. A movie like Frankenstein Unbound had a great enjoyability. So putting it up against other things on this list, it has a good running shot.
Sure.
I think all these movies have good positives and negatives, and I'm excited to see which one we think takes the cake. So, starting us off, Randy, would you like to go through the roster?
All right. It looks like you first got...
You can zoom in on it. And I believe it's Spaceballs.
It is Spaceballs versus The Fly.
Say Spaceballs versus The Fly.
Okay.
So,
all right, I get it now.
We're going to take Spaceballs, we're going to take The Fly, go through them. Which one of these two wins?
Wins, right? Okay.
And then we'll go through, I've got a whole graphic on screen, hopefully.
Randy official.
We will go, and we'll go through. So, Spaceballs and The Fly. Spaceballs.
Right, so what was your first criteria, the story?
Is story.
Okay.
Spaceballs is a spoof comedy movie
By Mel Brooks.
And The Fly is a thrilling horror sci-fi by David Cronenberg.
Yes.
But I mean, 2 heavy hitters starting out.
Yeah. Legends in their field.
Yeah, and personally, probably the top tier of the movies they've made. I think David Cronenberg's gem overall, I think, is The Fly.
I think it is too.
And
I like other ones a lot.
I do too.
But I do think it all gelled together perfectly in The Fly.
This was a good showing of what he can do as a filmmaker, showing what he can do with a remake of a story.
Right. And his thumbprint is all over it.
It is David Cronenberg's Fly.
When you think, that's the thing you think of.
Yes,
in the Rick
do.
and Morty episode, this is what they're talking about.
Absolutely. And even like in his other stuff, like it gets weird and creepy and all over surreal. And I think this one he does the best.
Grossness.
Body horror.
But yeah, this is his magnum opus, I think.
I do too. And Spaceballs, I think, is Mel Brooks' finest directed film.
I think Blazing Saddles is.
I think Blazing Saddles is great, but I think he directs this one better.
Blazing Saddles is Mel Brooks' magnum opus for me.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, this is great.
It is.
And Mel Brooks isn't known for special effects and stuff like that, but he's still... maybe
he wasn't afraid of it.
I don't think there's a second unit on here. I don't remember it. But like with the ships going over, all the special effects he pulled off perfectly.
Yeah, he was very hands-on.
It was natural at it.
Yeah. And like we're going to talk about the story and everything, but I think the real cream of the crop for both of these two are their special effects. Because, I mean, The Fly is just a mad scientist story, and Spaceballs is a spoof on Star Wars.
But they make them believable.
But they make them believable entirely, and they're shot really well, but their special effects are what makes them stand out. I think the transforming Star Destroyer ship into the Maid is a great, well done set. I think the ships themselves being practical models,
like Star Wars.
Yeah, I think that was great.
I think ILM did stuff on it, so it makes sense.
And with Cronenberg, the name Cronenberg speaks for itself.
Yep.
But again, there's nothing like The Fly.
No.
So
there is nothing like it. There really isn't. The Thing's not like it.
No.
And it's not like The Thing because The Thing came out first.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's not trying to be anything.
No.
And
he doesn't repeat any of this stuff in later movies either.
No, he keeps it original.
Like Naked Lunch or Crimes of the Future.
Or Scanners. Or,
Scanners came first, but even that. Oh, God, Scanners. Did you ever see Scanners?
Yeah, I did.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
I'd like to talk about it on the podcast.
Well, we'll do that movie.
Yeah, we will.
We should.
Going off of story, I think the story of The Fly is a more compelling and engaging story.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. The story of Spaceballs is just something to hang jokes on.
Yeah.
Really. They have to do something. You have to beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
And just hanging jokes on it.
It is the hero's journey.
And they're great jokes.
Oh, they're hilarious jokes. No, hands down hilarious jokes.
Yeah.
It is a hero's journey that, cookie cutter.
Right, cookie cutter.
Hero's journey, which it's a spoof. Like, it's just doing what Star Wars did.
Right.
So you can't really say it's an original story.
Right.
Because of of the nature of the film.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the mad scientist tragedy of The Fly would take the story for this one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Which leads us into, I'm going to just keep this up, acting. The acting performances of these two movies are really, really good.
Yeah, both of them are really good, and they're perfect for themselves.
Yeah.
Because you can't really put Bill Pullman up against
Jeff Goldberg
in this context. Yeah. Although he plays it good.
He does.
And it's adequate. I mean, I don't even want to say anything bad about it, his acting, but maybe it's the story arc too. He changes. Lone Star really doesn't change.
No.
But he changes from the inside to the outside. Like, he becomes a different person before he becomes a non-person, a Brundlefly. Yeah. And Jeff Goldblum really pulls it off.
He does pull it off. And he, I think he sells it more. Like, you are more...
Same with Gina Davis.
Engaged. Yeah, and Gina Davis does a great job, too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the actress's name who plays Vespa.
Daphne something.
Daphne. I don't ever really believe her as
she's just being either the butt of a joke, or she does a good job as that person, but
I believe Gina Davis cares for
totally
Jeff
different.
Goldblum. I believe Jeff Goldblum is really
going through that.
Yeah, and it's hard for him, and he's both excited and terrified.
Yep.
When you have those close, intimate moments where he's doing the research on what the hell's going on, like your heart's racing too, even though you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that big reveal there. And I think the best performance in Spaceballs is probably John Candy.
I was going to say John Candy, but then I was like, you know what, Rick Moranis. I think they're tied.
Great.
Because
too.
Rick Moranis, he puts the thing down and he's all menacing and everything. Yeah. And brings it up. What's going on? Come on.
I just feel like John Candy.
They're good. It's a good comedy.
It's a good comedy.
They do good comedy acting. It's perfect comedy acting, actually.
But I think John Candy, he is just a naturally funny person.
Yeah.
So a lot of the jokes he's telling come across more natural.
Right.
Like,
almost
I can tell.
Improv.
Yeah, almost. Way more improv.
There's a couple of improvs in it, but I forgot what they
are. Rick Moranis is a funny actor too.
Yeah, he's great.
But they do give him the do the silly face, make the silly voice kind of jokes where they don't do that with John
I always
Candy.
have coffee when I watch Radar.
Yeah, or he's put.
Yeah.
like doing that stuff
Right behind his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're making faces behind my back. So while you have a cast full of comedians, I think John Candy comes across more sincere.
Yeah, I don't think you
Just
could help it.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
just nature. So
But I'm still giving it to The Fly.
I would give it to The Fly too, just because of how sucked into the story you get
Right.
with what
Right.
The Fly is.
It's easy to suspend your disbelief with The Fly
Yes,
because of Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum.
absolutely.
Was that the last category?
No. What?
Okay. I'm just getting ready to pick The Fly. You guys seem to really like The Fly.
You know what's funny? Oh, man,
I'd pick Spaceballs, but
You picked Spaceballs?
Why'd you pick
Because he
Spaceball?
didn't watch The
I
Fly.
didn't watch
That's
The
why.
Fly.
And he had seen Spaceballs. It's
But,
a good pick anyway, Randy Official.
Look and feel for both of these movies, I think. Again, it's hard to compare these two. But I do want to give it to The Fly again,
Yeah.
only because of the scene where he's crawling.
Yes, I was just going to say that. All that gimbal stuff is
It,
just great.
it puts it over the top. It
But, you
goes
know,
that
also-
extra mile.
With the Brundle Fly, when he gets to be more flyy and like the stuff is falling off him, it looks great too.
Yeah,
Spaceballs is stuff to hang jokes on.
right.
You know what I mean? And
Uh,
that's okay.
But you don't get any cool new worlds.
No.
You know, like the Spaceball City is just kind of a generic
Yep.
thing. Like in Star Wars, it felt like they went to different worlds.
Right.
Like I know, like you start on Tatooine, and then you go to the Death Star, and then Yavin.
Mm-hmm.
But it still is so
Even Tatooine, because the
alien.
homestead areas and then Mos Eisley
Are completely different.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, like it's just a desert.
You know what? Yeah, and you don't really care because
Yeah.
it's not important.
No, it's
It needs to look believable because they're professionals.
yeah.
But it doesn't have to do gimbal work like The Fly.
But you can tell it's a set.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
this
right.
is
Yeah.
where they are.
And a lot of the directing is kind of like they were just filming a play, which
Yeah.
a lot of comedies are because that's the juxt of it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but The Fly wins in that one too.
Yeah.
And it's
Because
just New York City.
It's New York City.
regular
It feels like
apartments.
New York City.
Yep.
It doesn't feel like it's a set. Even his laboratory,
Yeah.
like I don't know where he was. Like it's some abandoned building,
Yeah.
but like it doesn't
old
feel like
warehouse.
it's a set. It felt like they went to an abandoned building,
Yeah.
found that guy there, and just filmed him. Like that's how
Believable.
it was. Like it was immersive in that way. And I think that because the space comedy movie and drastic dark horror movie,
Right.
you're gonna be different. But they didn't go that extra mile even with the cinematography either. Like it's
No.
very standard, and it didn't have to be.
No.
Like it wasn't trying to be, and it succeeded on a lot of fronts. But I really honestly I think that The Fly takes the cake
Fly
here
takes
too,
it here too.
which leaves us with overall enjoyability.
Well, there's a difference there.
I think Spaceballs wins there.
Me too, because like you watch that, you can have it
You
on in the
throw that on
background, and
anytime.
you're like, oh yeah, you're vacuuming and jokes come on,
Yes.
and you kind of you got to be in the mood for The Fly.
Yes, because it's like a chocolate cake where it's complex, it's rich, it's got everything to it, but you don't want chocolate cake all the time.
Right.
Like you save it, you savor it, it's special, you watch it here and there.
Mhm.
Spaceballs is popcorn.
Spaceballs, the breakfast cereal.
Exactly. So with an overwhelming score, we have to give it to The Fly.
Yes, The Fly.
The Fly wins
Fly
this
wins.
one. Which I'm happy with. I'm happy with that
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
he deserved it. David Cronenberg's really threw it out there with that
He
one.
did.
And I'm glad he did it. Even it being a remake, it doesn't feel like a remake.
No,
I
not
watched those
at
two
all.
back to back, and it was a very different experience.
Yeah.
What's up next?
12 monkeys and one with a blue cover. Give you 1 second.
One with a blue cover.
Ghostbusters
Frozen
Empire, I think it is.
It is indeed.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, I am probably the biggest Ghostbusters fan on
You're welcome.
the planet. Yeah. I love it.
I love Ghostbusters too. I love the movie Ghostbusters.
Yes.
It's a classic.
It really
is. And it came out of the chute a classic. And the second one got crapped on, didn't do as well. That's why you had to wait 30 some odd years for something else to happen. But I believed it too, so I didn't bother going to see it.
Uh-huh.
And when I kicked myself when I finally did, it was damn good because these characters are great.
They are.
And that's kind of what's missing in Frozen Empire, I think. The new characters are good.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not, I don't know, maybe they're just not as big of characters.
Right.
They're more real people. And I can come here and see you. You're a real person. I go to the pay to see characters.
And I think it tried something and it just didn't go the full mile with it.
Yeah, you said that before, and it should have been a two-parter.
I think it should have been. I still stand by that.
If it was a two-parter, my main complaint could have been I wouldn't have had it because they could have broken it up into all that because they just jammed too much
dense.
And too much member berries and nostalgia stuff.
All
Plus,
that
if you want to have Lucky in it, which I don't think she should have been in the movie at all. No, the actress is fine, and she was great in the first one, but she's unnecessary in this one. It's just wedging shit in.
You know what's funny is I think she should have been in it more, and you should have taken like Finn Wolfhard out.
And because he's like pretty marginalized in the movie. You could have taken him out.
Again, his whole thing is to catch Slimer.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a whole she's a Ghostbuster. She's a technician on their stuff, and she comes out of nowhere. I would love to see more of that. Like, center the whole movie around that. And
over that whole thing with the Ghostbuster with the sprocket thing.
I think that's so
all
cool.
Them. Sure, I can go for that.
I think the direction of this movie was...
I liked it, though.
Unfocused. I did, too.
I really liked it.
I enjoyed it because I think it's good at what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's being a Ghostbuster sequel. It's not hard to do if you just do it right.
Right.
But like I said before, if you want to master Ghostbuster sequels, you go to the cartoon and you just start taking inspiration from that.
Yeah.
Because it was a highly popular television show.
Yeah.
So I have
for
no
a couple
idea.
Years.
And it's got 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Toys and all this stuff.
Right.
It's so unique. They got great characters in that. Go from that. 12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys, hands down.
I think
every
wins.
one of them criteria, 12
do.
Monkeys dominates. And I'm going to say this, too. When I was looking at the list, I'm like, well, I know which one is number 1 on here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it would have been 12 Monkeys. Every single bit. What's the first? The acting is top-notch.
10 out of 10.
Olympic caliber acting
by
by everybody in it, including Frank Gorshin.
Yeah, who's not in it a lot.
He's a cameo almost. Everybody nails it. And set design, forget about it. I think
they're both
Terry Gilliam, I think he has a lot of input in set design.
Yeah.
Because he does this kind of thing a lot where he crams a lot of stuff into stuff. And I think that's his aesthetic. And I love it. What else was there? Cinematography.
Yep.
Yeah, cinematography too.
Two things. One, I wanted to start with
Ghostbusters look good.
It did look really good, and the effects were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to start with Ghostbusters because I knew that we'd both say the 12 Monkeys. Because it blows us both out of the water, and we both love it so much. They're both set in New York.
Yeah? Oh, no. Philadelphia.
Oh, it's Philadelphia. But they're both set in cities.
Yeah. East Coast cities.
And they both feel like they're set in those cities. I think they both excel in that.
And they showcase different parts of the city, like landmark things.
Yeah, exactly. And neither one of them, to me, feel like they drag. I think they have a great pace.
They do.
They go through it.
Frozen Empire is pretty damn long. And He did a good job pacing that movie.
Yeah, you've got a lot of
totally
stuff
agree.
in it, but it goes along. I want more time with it. Isn't it?
Yeah.
12 Monkeys. They both spawned TV shows.
Yeah.
But I think even though neither one of us has seen the 12 Monkeys TV show, I don't think it loses any points for that.
No.
Because the premise alone, we talked about it. Like, I mean, there's so much even to talk. It's one of those talk abouty movies.
It
like
totally
you just
is.
can never stop talking about
Yep.
it. Whereas Frozen Empire, I'm like, well, I can't. Well, let's see what they do in the next one.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and that's a
And I
shame.
hope there's a next one
I do too.
because of Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
But
I hope. Well, I kind of hope they'd make a HBO show and just Game of Thrones it.
Well, if Reitman will do it, because I think he needs to be
He's
the
got to come
director.
back.
Yeah.
I
And
think
only
he
because,
understood it better.
Huh?
I think he understood it better.
That's why. That's
Yeah.
exactly why.
Not that again. This person didn't do a bad job at all.
Mm.
Jason Reitman just understood the material better.
I think he
it
really
was his
do.
dad's IP, you know, like he grew up with it. Like,
And this that wasn't his only comedy movie.
no,
Ivan Reitman. So he grew up in that mindset,
yes.
and that I think he should do it again.
Well, and like
I don't think I've seen another Reitman movie that the kid did.
I don't think I have either.
There's a pretty popular one. I forget what it is. Anyway, we should bring that up.
But so like I never considered the first Ghostbusters to be a comedy because when I saw
I don't
it,
either. I smile.
yeah, but I'm not cracking up.
No.
They're funny. They have good chemistry.
Yes.
But that's a sci-fi movie to me. That is a paranormal
Totally,
sci-fi movie to
totally.
me. And Afterlife is too.
I think so too.
I think it follows that very closely. It's not trying to be humorous.
Mm-hmm.
This one is.
Yeah,
This
they
one's
tries
trying
too
to be
hard.
a comedy.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's what you want to come back to is you got funny people,
Mm-hmm.
so let them be funny in the situation they're in. Don't
Right.
add jokes to it.
Like Bill Murray just saying, it's Miller time.
Yeah.
'Cause
I don't think
a
that's
phrase.
funny.
It's not. What did you say? You don't think it's funny?
I never thought that was funny.
No, it's not
I didn't
funny,
understand
but you
it.
totally. Yeah, right.
You know,
because
I was a
right,
kid.
Yeah. Well,
and it wasn't.
They don't say that anymore for Miller
Yeah.
beer, but it just makes them more human.
Yes.
Way more so than really anything in Frozen Empire makes people human in it.
And like, so with 12 Monkeys, like you've got a very like on the edge of your seat story. It's a time travel story about stopping the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I think it takes itself seriously and expects you to be an adult about it.
Yeah.
Whereas Frozen Empire has a pretty serious story too. It's
Sure.
also about stopping the end of the world,
Yep.
but it's just a goofy comedy.
Right.
So it looks good. It's got great effects, but I don't think it really holds a candle to 12 Monkeys.
It doesn't hold a candle to 12 Monkeys.
I got Sigourney Weaver and Slimer tattooed
Right.
on my body. Still goes to 12 Monkeys.
Yes.
There's no. I'd give it to 12 Monkeys. What do you think? You've seen them both, right?
He
Mr.
didn't
Randy
see
Official.
No, he didn't.
I like Ghostbusters more. I'm going to be honest.
Well, you're a comedy guy, aren't you?
Yeah, big
Yeah.
comedian.
You're our Ari Shafir.
Your next one is the Black Scorpion and the Blood Bathhouse or something.
The Bloodbath at the House of Death. Two. Okay, so here's where we get to like the solid B movies.
Yeah, they're
And,
B movies, all right. Well, the Black Scorpion is absolutely.
Yeah. One and the other one's a British
Bloodbath,
movie.
they didn't make B movies then anymore, but it's a B movie.
But it's a British movie, so it's anything the Brits do is a B movie. Yeah. So this one's gonna be fun to kind of break down because you might not know what I'm gonna go with. So on story, I think I don't know.
Well, you know what?
It's kind of funny. There's a lot of
They're
comedies.
both really thin,
Yes, they're both just.
but I don't know. I was just going to give it to Bloodbath, but
Bloodbath, I think, is a little bit more complex because there's more to it. There's a cult.
Yeah, there is.
There's lore.
It gets a little convoluted too, though.
Yeah, I think it starts slipping. Like, it's got a good handle on its rope,
Uh-huh.
but then towards the end, it kind of slips
Yeah,
a
because
little
a
bit.
giant scorpion comes up.
But the scorpion, it's just kind of stopping a giant monster.
Yeah.
And I think the opening of the Black Scorpion is better than the resolution. And I think the resolution of Bloodbath at the House of Death is better than the opening. I think that
Okay, I can go with you.
body double switching Bloodbath at the
Uh-huh.
end of that movie is the best part of that movie. And I think the
Oh, right. Yeah.
intrigue and the discovery of like what's going on.
When they go to the volcano
Yeah.
and
I see
in the scorpion's lair and all that stuff, that and the train wreck.
the
I
train
think
wreck
they're
is
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
The movie, love it or hate it, I unironically really liked this movie
Me
that
too.
we were supposed to hate.
Yeah.
That
It's not a bad movie.
that train attack scene is
Yeah.
gold. That is some
It
great
really is.
monster movie stuff. That
It
is
is.
on par with any Godzilla
Like
movie.
20,000, the beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
Or the Beast from or even King Kong. I think
Yeah,
it's right up there with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, like, I could have done without the same repeated shot of the face.
Yeah.
at ya.
Yeah. With the thyroid eye disease eyes popping out. It looks too human.
It does.
But like when he's picking up humans,
Yes.
that looks great.
Oh, when they pick up the train and
Yeah,
throw it. The
yes.
way they move alone.
or they're fighting each other.
Yeah. Looks
that's-
great.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
This takes it in that category. But you're probably right with the ending, like the resolution with
I
the body
think-
switching
yeah.
thing. That was pretty clever.
It builds up to something that you don't really see coming. And I think it
Yeah.
works better than just we got to beat this monster.
Really,
so in
totally.
terms of story, I think Bloodbath takes it.
Yeah, I'll give it to Bloodbath too.
Moving on to acting.
Ty.
Yes.
And these are comedians in England.
Yeah, they're British.
And the one
comedians.
woman, she wasn't really a comedian. She was just a funny lady
Uh-huh.
because she went on to be a psychiatrist. So you're not putting everything into it
No.
when you got to go study for to be a psychiatrist. But yeah, and they were more caricatures, whereas
Yes.
uh,
Well, they're also caricatures. They're your typical strong guy. Like you would see these kind of people in like a old TV show.
which one are you talking about? Scorpion?
Scorpion. Yeah. So I
yeah,
think,
you would.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I don't
and
want to say
like,
like Bonanza, but like
No,
that era of television.
the Mexican guy who I think is a doctor too, but he's a sidekick, and that's because of the time. You're
Right.
not going to have the Mexican guy be the hero and the white guy be a
Sidekick.
in an American movie. It's not going to happen.
In that period of time.
But
too.
they don't belittle him really.
No, he's
It's
a
real subtle the way they make him a sidekick.
Yeah.
But I think those two guys did a great job. The kid didn't do a good job. He did a
No. He's a kid actor.
bad kid actor job.
Yeah.
But I think the acting is pretty solid in it.
I think, and I mean, no prejudice here. I think the only good actor in Bloodbath of the House of Death is Vincent Price.
And he's all over the top
Oh
too.
my God,
Which
he
is
is.
the great about that.
Yeah, and I believe him being a cult leader because
Definitely.
that's his personality.
And being annoyed by all of them.
God, I love that.
That was the only good part for me, really, was
Yeah.
the Vincent Price part.
But I don't think there's a performance in Black Scorpion I didn't believe.
Yeah.
I think they all. I believe he's an archaeologist. I
Yep.
believe they know about these things.
I believe those are villagers that they're in a rural village in
the middle of
nowhere, in
nowhere?
the middle of Mexico with a high science lab.
It's-
Some of the stuff is stupid, but these guys, I'm sure they made a living their entire life acting
Yeah,
with no problem, and they had no problem getting work, nothing like that. They did a good job.
I agree.
And whereas the Bloodbath people were, even Vincent Price is being a caricature
Yeah.
of Vincent Price.
It's really funny just how many comedy movies we got going up against serious
Yeah.
movies in this. I think that's funny.
Who did
Not
that?
intentional. I just put them in order of how we did them.
Oh, okay.
And I think Tom's going back and forth between the two sides.
Yeah, I get it now. So it'll be okay.
Yeah. So I think in terms of acting, I think I give it to the Black Scorpion. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
done.
would too.
Even the puppetry, that's an acting gig too. You've got to make that believable, and that
then
right
never
there,
mind.
yeah.
Hands down, it is.
I think that takes it. That's again, man, the movie. It's
the
supposed worst
to be a bad
movie ever made, and
no, it's not.
God,
it's good.
redeemable as all get out.
Yeah, and it's way better than Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Eh.
It's way better than The Room too,
With
which
Tommy
is
Wiseau?
now the worst movie ever made.
Yeah. Have you seen? Well, Birdemic.
Okay, yeah, but like Birdemic seems like it's you and me had 20 minutes to kill, so we made a movie.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's sloppy bad. Whereas like Plan 9 from Outer Space,
and even The Room,
wrote a script, got an actor, a famous actor died, got his dentist to replace him. There was a lot of effort involved in it. Same with The Room.
To it.
And a passion to it too. I think The Room has more passion to it than
Plan 9.
No, than it does like I don't know, stick to ingenuity.
Yeah,
where it was like that was Ed Wood's thing,
and
he's going to make a movie, and okay, I only have $5. I can't. All right, never mind. And The Room, like you can tell, it's blue screen because it's just lazier. That's all.
Yeah.
And this movie is way better than both of those.
Yeah,
it is.
It
damn
really
good.
is.
And I like Plan 9.
So we go on to like look and feel, and act. Look and feel, and I think it looks better.
It's in black and white too, so they can get away with a lot more.
Yeah.
And again, Bloodbath is just kind of everything serves a purpose to hang the jokes on and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like the tavern looked good.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a real cavern.
But then you've got a lot of stuff just outside in the woods.
Yep.
It's all very blue. It's not colored.
Yeah.
Well.
Right. But it doesn't have to be. That's not the point.
Yeah, no, you're not there to watch Citizen Kane. You're there to watch a sea movie with Vincent Price in it.
Right.
Whereas, Black Scorpion, when they first pull up and they see the lady on the horse.
Yep.
That I love the way that was shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that looks great.
Yep.
I think it's again like it feels like that it's on location because it could just be a soundstage. That's how they made these movies back then.
Right. But it could also have been behind the soundstage.
It could have been.
They did that too.
When they go into the volcano, it's like they're going into a different world. None of these sets are done bad. It's genuinely
really
impressive.
Good. And you could tell that elevator is a miniature and stuff.
Yeah. But
I don't care.
lose
It looks good. It looks cool.
It's because you can tell it's a mini. You can tell they're clay, but it doesn't take you out of it.
It really
somehow
doesn't.
Because it's like
they took it
in
seriously
front of
when they shot it.
Yeah, and they
but
cut
not too
to
seriously.
them.
Yeah,
like they'll cut to them, so it's not just that for a prolonged period of time.
It's an establishing shot.
Yeah, and you see them. They're discovering what's going on. Somehow the little boy snuck upon their only could fit 2 people in basket.
I'm not saying it's a perfect movie.
Yeah, but
it's good.
I think it's got a better environment. It's got a better feel. It's just made better.
Yeah, I think probably because they had it's the tail end of the whole studio time era.
Yeah.
So these people that's what they did. What am I working on this week? The Black Scorpion. So I know what I'm doing. Whereas the Bloodbath is like
there's some guy.
We want to put together this.
Yeah.
And so they maybe it's not the best.
So in terms of I guess because they're both can be considered horror movies.
Mm.
I think the threat of the Black Scorpion outweighs the threat of the cult.
Yeah, definitely.
In my opinion. So I would give it to
the Black Scorpion.
Ironically, leading us to overall enjoyability.
Well, I didn't really care for Bloodbath at the House of Death, except for the Vincent Price part.
If he was in it more, I think that movie would have more of a running shot. If he was in it more,
yeah, like being that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's really the best part of the movie. Like, there's 4 or 5, like, good things about that movie. He's number one.
Oh, definitely.
And he's only in it for like 10 minutes.
At the most, yeah.
It's not very long.
And I like British humor, and it's goofy and Britishy, but I just didn't do anything for me.
I feel like you could break it up. I don't think that you can just sit through and watch it. I think it's kind of dry. Like, this is you have it for dinner, you bring it to work tomorrow for lunch kind of movie.
Right.
I sat through The Black Scorpion, and then I almost watched it again.
It was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, overall enjoyability.
You're going to go
I'm not
into
a fan
it.
of big monster movies, but man, I was a fan of this one.
But you're going to start watching it, and then you're going to get into it.
Yes. You get into it.
Yeah. You're going to watch the whole thing.
Fast. Like, it's impressive.
Yep.
So I think the Black Scorpion takes
Black Scorpion wins.
What do you think, Tom? Which one, Randy, which one do you think is...
Randy official.
I like the Bloodhouse Bath one.
You don't even know the name. Why do you pretend you've watched it?
That one's my favorite.
Okay.
Next, we got the Frankenstein one and
Frankenstein Unbound.
Forbidden Planet.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dang, man. Oh, that's hard.
You know what?
I might have a controversial opinion.
Man, I don't know. What, you going to pick Frankenstein?
I'm picking Frankenstein. Me and a buddy do these movie nights every week. We're doing that.
Frankenstein.
I told him to do it. I said, that's what we're doing. We're
gonna watch
remakes
it? How?
on YouTube.
Oh. Well, make sure you watch a good cut of it, because there's one, I watched one that
I'll find a better
wasn't
cut.
that great. But yeah, there's one that's, I think it's
if I can find the DVD, I'll just watch that. I mean, DVD quality is not bad. It's overhated.
I have never even seen it on DVD. I've only seen it on VHS and YouTube. But I think I would give it to Frankenstein too, and a lot of that is because of the pacing. It's a lot tighter.
It's exciting
because it's Roger Corman.
Yes, it's Roger Corman. Look, because you got Leslie Nielsen up against John Hurt, masters in their own work.
Yeah,
we said Fantastic Planet, right? Not Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah, Fantastic Planet.
Okay, good. Because
Forbidden Planet.
You did it
with the robot.
Got it.
We're not talking about the giant blue people.
Forbidden Planet.
You got Forbidden Planet you got Leslie Nielsen, you got John Hurt, and they're both kicking butt.
Mm-hmm. The guy that plays Morbius, I can't remember his name, but he was pretty famous, I guess, back in the day. I guess you would put up against Raul Julia.
Uh-huh.
And
you got Frankenstein.
That's
you got
at least
Charlie.
tied. Huh? Charlie.
The robot.
Robbie
the robot.
Frankenstein and Robbie the robot. Yeah, okay. Robbie the robot looks better than Frankenstein does.
He does. So in terms of effects, I don't think Frankenstein has anything to compare to Robbie the robot.
I don't think Frankenstein.
They don't really have
the
a lot of
effects. Really aren't the thing.
No.
Whereas Forbidden Planet,
they kind of are.
And they were put in the forefront, and that's where they belong. Everything, the set design. I like the natural, what's that called? Gothicness of because everything's not always dreary. The sun did come out. They're in a place in Italy that's Lake Geneva or whatever. It's supposed to be a beautiful place, so it's not going to be just ho-hummy. But Forbidden Planet is fantastical.
Yeah.
Like in the inside of the ship is what I was thinking of.
Yes, the inside of the ship, the laboratory. The set design is amazing in Forbidden Planet. It really is.
It is.
And I prefer that to just like Geneva, Venice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think
it's kind of
because they got one little old timey town. Like they don't really show it off either.
Right.
It's just kind of like we're in a room.
Yeah,
we're in another room.
That castle, Frankenstein's castle thing. They're just places things can happen at.
Yeah, it's like they found one and filmed in front of them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Before they
it's
got
to take place somewhere.
Yeah. But Forbidden Planet really exemplify. I mean, like there's nothing wrong I can say.
And all that, it's probably matte paintings with the miniature, the people that look miniature because it's so enormous.
Uh-huh.
It looks enormous.
It's Panavision.
The flying saucer looks cool. Yeah, it was in Panavision too.
which was a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal, and it's expensive too. But Roger Corman's not going to do that. He's going to. It probably wasn't even 35 millimeter.
It's 8.
Really.
And this is the only reason why I'm giving it to Frankenstein is because I think that movie is more exciting.
It is far more exciting.
Yeah.
Because the id monster looks fabulous.
I love it. I think that's so cool.
With their lasers that they're not going to have. You know, I don't remember. That's probably the first one where they have blasters. Yeah. Really, it is. But, yeah, the Frankenstein stuff, the car, all that stuff is just great.
And I love that I got this comparison because it's the greatest Doctor Who movie you'll ever watch. It's that, like, if you like New Who, you'll love it.
If you don't watch Doctor Who, you'll love it.
Yeah. And with Forbidden Planet, it's an A-grade movie.
It is.
And it's a very exciting, it's kind of like a mystery movie, like you're trying to find out what's going on.
It is a mystery movie, and it's far more that than like a military movie, even though they are in the military. But
it's the
Frankenstein's
like
2 or 3 different movies shoved together.
Yeah. And I think it gets goofy at some points.
Mm-hmm.
It gets serious
some
at
things
others.
Are ridiculous, but they take the ridiculousness seriously.
And like it gets deep at some points, like
Mm-hmm.
when Frankenstein's questioning God and stuff like that. Like and Roger Corman isn't known for quality films.
No,
but you got to give it to him when he does it right. And I think, and again, I'm not hating on that Forbidden Planet movie. I loved it, but I think I got to give it to Frankenstein.
I do too, and I was really excited. I couldn't stop thinking about it when I brought it up to you. And then when I finally saw it, I'm like, man, I love this movie. It's so good. When I watched Forbidden Planet, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is good. That's cool. Oh, I like that. But had a much better time with Frankenstein Unbound.
So, yeah, in terms of acting,
I'm going to give it to Frankenstein because of John Hurt and Raul Julia. I think Raul Julia is great, and he died way too soon.
Yeah.
He would have probably been up there.
A big star.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. Like iconic like Russell Crowe.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I do think that Forbidden Planet is shot better, though.
Yeah.
I think, obviously.
Yeah, it's a cinemascope and everything, yeah. And the colors are vibrant.
Yeah.
Whereas the colors in Frankenstein Unbound are mostly from lights.
Yeah. There's a lot of blue. It's very blue.
Blue and purpley.
Every shot in Forbidden Planet looks like a painting.
It does. That's gorgeous.
Takes the cake in cinematography.
It does. Yeah.
Takes the cake in special effects, too, but again, like they're right there, and the only reason why I'm giving it to it is because it's more exciting.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think, Randy?
I like Forbidden Planet more.
He's a real cinephile. Do you know who Robbie the Robot is?
Yeah, I can see the poster.
Kind of want to get a little Robbie. I think he'd be really cool.
It would be.
He's like, man, there's little things that I wish they would do. Like, they don't have to be like a shared universe, but it'd be just a fun Easter egg, like the Stan Lee cameos. Just put Robbie the Robot and stuff.
Yeah, just walking by someplace. Yeah.
Just in Star Wars, like the next one.
That would have been cool.
Yeah,
that
would have been so cool.
Like in Mad World when there's the fire at the end, and the firemen show up, and all it is a shot of the Three Stooges.
Yes,
and that's the whole thing, the whole joke. Like they did that with Robbie Robertson. He's from the band. Robbie the Robot. That would be great. Don't mention it. Don't say anything. Nope. They don't have lines.
Don't call attention
to it. They don't doink each other in the eyes. Nothing.
They're just
stand
there.
Yeah, and that's because they're firemen and they're the Three Stooges. It says 1,000 words.
Yes.
That picture.
If you get it, it's awesome. If you don't,
it don't matter.
It's just there. So yeah, I think that was a huge missed opportunity, and I hope they do stuff like that because it's awesome to see him in like Looney Tunes back in action.
Yeah,
like he's just there.
Yeah,
it's great.
Our next movies are The Wasp Woman and
Land That Time Forgot.
The Land That Time Forgot.
Oh. All right, so we got 2 movies that it was hard for me to get through, and I wasn't a big fan of either one of them. I think that's after all these movies where I've liked them all. I think it's fitting that we get 2 back-to-back that I wasn't a big fan of.
I think The Wasp Woman was better than I expected. But like what I said originally, it's all set up with hardly really no payoff.
Any payoff.
And the stupid stuff in it is just too stupid. Like the guy driving in his bee suit. And that,
Yeah.
But the Land of Time Forgot at the very beginning with that whole U-boat stuff is so cool.
Oh my God, best movie I've ever seen.
And
so good.
And then I'm giving it to the Land of Time Forgot
Yeah,
because
I am
especially
too.
the puppets, they used puppets on purpose
Yep.
to not look stop motiony. And it's the Wasp Woman, right? Yeah. She's got a hat on basically that looks with googly eyes.
We just got done praising Roger Corman for Frankenstein.
Right.
You watch Frankenstein, you can see when he does really good. You watch The Wasp Woman when you see he's making money.
Yeah.
That's all
it is. And like it has good acting in it.
Yep.
I think the acting is better in Land of Time Forgot. But they're adequate actors. It's not like you're like, well, you're not bored. They're engaging, but it's stupid, and a lot of stuff doesn't make any sense, and it's that really takes it out of it. Yeah. And the sets, I think it was a set. It obviously looks like a set in The Wasp Woman, and with like a backdrop of a city and all that kind of stuff. It looks fine for TV or something.
Yeah.
It'd be great. But the Land of Time Forgot, they have that whole island and stuff, and it just looks better.
It does look fantastical. I
story's
enjoy
better, too.
the island more than I enjoy the office building.
Yeah.
And I think the effects look better in that too.
Yeah, they do.
What really sells this movie is your first U-boat scenes.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's really what sells it.
I like submarine movies too, and so that's just cool.
Yeah.
It's very good. And like even that's stupid too. Like, I didn't notice they put the sun was rising on the wrong side of the boat,
right?
And there's a magnet on the. Come on, man. Although, if I was going to remake one of these, I would remake The Wasp Woman and not The Land of Time Forgot.
That's what I'm about to bring up. The one that did get a remake,
yeah,
was the time that Land of Time Forgot. I think and Land of Time Forgot also is one of those movies that have a really awesome poster.
Yeah, to
get you in, because then they got your money. This is a drive-in movie.
It is a drive-in movie. It is, if you would see this before you saw Star Wars.
Yep.
And holy crap, did I see this before I saw Star Wars? Because Star Wars was the second feature the first time I saw it at a drive-in. Man, I don't think it was.
God, it is. There you go.
It is. The Land of Time Forgot. And then you see those special effects with the rawr, rawr, and then whoosh that's coming over your head.
It's fun. I think Land of the Time Forgot would take it because of the effects, because of
better
the
acting,
solid
too.
opener. The acting is better.
Yes.
I think just overall it's better done.
The only very, very opening part where we talked about this, he throws the thing off and then it comes right back. It just looks like he's on there. They're on an island over there.
Yeah.
Like, we're lost. I'm going to start eating humans now. Yeah, definitely The Land of Time Forgot.
Yeah.
Both of us are hands down on that.
What about you, Randy? What did you think?
Wasp Woman was superior. Wasp Woman was really good. It's
you didn't see
underrated.
Wasp Woman.
The next one is Fantastic Voyage and Dracula.
All right, hang
okay,
on.
so Dracula is an interesting one because there's.
I didn't even know if we were going to do that because it's 4 movies.
Yeah. So out of
what was the one that's going up against?
Fantastic Voyage.
Fantastic Voyage.
Fantastic Voyage beats all 4 of those.
Don't
movies we
think
watched.
any of those Dracula movies hold a candle to it.
Dracula 2000 might be close.
It's good.
Yeah, it's damn good.
Did you watch it?
I had seen it. Yeah.
Okay, so I would say out of all the 4 we watched, because it's funny when we did this, I said AD was better than this one.
Yeah.
I would put this one up against Fantastic Voyage though, because it's got more different filmmaking techniques.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas AD is just very
it's a gothic
basic
horror movie.
Yeah, of the 70s. Like it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Voyage came out in 1966, right around that same time. So they're
Mm-hmm.
going to be shot very similarly. So you got awesome special effects, pretty good special effects. These ones have aged so much better. Because you got the CGI stuff in here in early 2000 CGI.
Doesn't
you
work.
have to give a pass to.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't pass.
It doesn't. And it really didn't then either.
No. I don't know.
A lot
it's
of
weird
stuff.
because like Pirates of the Caribbean looks great.
Pirates of the Caribbean looks great, but like Blade, the bad guy at the end of Blade is just
disappointing.
Yeah.
Fantastic Voyage on story. It's cool that Judas is Dracula.
Yeah, that is cool. That's very cool.
But a race against the clock inside of a man's body is so much
better.
There you go. On premise alone.
Yeah.
On premise alone.
And the whole dynamic of the people, strangers. Well, the doctor and his assistant know each other, but everybody else is a stranger and they got to work together.
And one of them might be a mole, and it turns out he was.
Right.
And even he's like, well, I don't want to die in here kind of thing. I got to get out of here. Like, it's it's a human movie.
Yeah,
it's
it
human,
is.
true and true.
Yeah.
And like,
inside and out.
In terms of special effects, in terms of filmmaking, in terms of story writing, in terms of acting.
Yep.
Sold.
Yeah.
It is a far superior movie.
It is a superior movie.
To them all. And, it's funny because we picked the Dracula movies that we thought the other one wouldn't pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
if I would have picked Bram Stoker's Dracula, maybe it would have had a...
Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have had a good running shot because it's a better made movie.
Well, it's
or even
more.
the
It's
first
it's
Universal
kind of
one.
the difference between that. Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula is I call them movies. You're watching a movie.
Yes.
Whereas this one, they kind of
Experience.
want you immersed in it a little bit, and you're not supposed to be watching a movie. You're supposed to be watching. This is serious. They're really inside him. This kind of stuff, and there's stakes and this kind of stuff. Whereas there's different kind of stakes in Dracula. But like one scene in particular of that Dracula is Jonathan Harker's reading his journal, and he's on a train, and you see the silhouette of the train in the background and the big old journal in the foreground. It's that stuff like that can't happen. Is just you can't go inside a human body and be shrunk.
Yeah.
But
I believe they found a way to do it.
it's just the way it's presented is more
better.
Artistic in Francis Ford Coppola's and more practical in Fantastic Voyage.
Yes.
And I appreciate both of those nesses of those.
I do too. I think but still, at the end of the day, I think Fantastic Voyage.
Of those four, definitely.
Yeah. What did you think, Randy? I know that you were a big Dracula fan.
I
You
like.
watched Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, Dracula. That one was really good. Your next ones up are The Fly versus 12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys.
Really?
Yeah. It's a more original story.
It is.
Even though it's a remake, but they didn't really, it's a remake in the same way The Fly is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a premise, and then
they do
artistic,
their own thing. Licensing.
No, the guys. David Cronenberg and Terry Gilliam give it their artistic vision.
Yeah.
And
they're both very unique to.
They are.
Yeah.
But the story is just
You know,
so more engaging in 12 Monkeys
uh-huh.
that I have to give it to that.
I think on overall enjoyability, I'm going to give it to 12 Monkeys because there isn't ever an opportunity I won't watch that movie.
Yeah.
I will pass on watching The Fly.
Mm.
So I think I agree with you. But I do think that The Fly has a very strong hand when it comes to story and effects.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't think that the story of The Fly beats the story of 12 Monkeys.
It just doesn't for me.
The effects do.
It's edged out because I like mad scientist stuff.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I watched The Fly first on videotape.
Yep.
I could have easily rewound it and watched it again. I didn't. I was going to go back into the theater and watch 12 Monkeys again. I have to give it to that.
Yeah, I agree with you. 12 Monkeys is a winner here. What did you think? What do you think, Randy? You're a big fan of 12 Monkeys. You're a fly guy.
He's a fly guy because he can fast forward to the gross parts. Whereas you got to pay attention to.
Yeah, I like The
Monkeys.
Fly more because you guys don't like it.
No,
No, we
that's not
love it. And see, that's what's so fun about these is that there's not really a worse movie. They're all really good.
I would say
know?
the worst movie on these is Count Dracula that I watched because I didn't think you were going to watch it, and everything else was damn good.
The next one is Frankenstein versus the Black Scorpion.
Frankenstein. Look, again, love the
Yeah.
Black Scorpion.
Yeah, it was damn
Frankenstein Unbound.
good. I was
takes
excited
cake.
to watch that.
Me too. And I wasn't really on board with it. And then I started watching it. I was like, oh, this is real good.
That's all you got to do is just watch it, find it.
And now I'm excited to
watch-
rewatch it. I'm
Yeah.
excited to rewatch potentially the bad quality version I watched originally.
Yeah.
Like if I can't find a DVD version of this movie, I'm watching a VHS tape version
Yeah.
of it. Like that is how
And
good
it's
it is.
worth it.
It's so good. It's so good. I love when Corman just puts his passion into it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Poe quadrilogy. I love them. So like when he does good, he does good.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
He really does.
And it's very efficient. Efficient
Makes money
storytelling.
every
And so
time.
the pacing is really good the whole way. Yeah, we both give it to Frankenstein there.
Oh yeah.
Randy official.
He's gonna give it to
The Black Scorpion.
He's got a
wins.
tattoo of the Black Scorpion.
Yeah. Next is Fantastic Voyage and The Land That Time Forgot.
Fantastic Voyage.
See, these ones are
Hands
easy.
down, yeah. In every respect.
They're about to get harder though.
All right. The next one is 12 Monkeys and Frankenstein.
I'm still giving it a 12.
Really,
Monkeys.
we're down to these 3 movies. 12 Monkeys or Frankenstein. I think Frankenstein is more fun.
Frankenstein is more fun. Way more fun. But I got to give...
God, 12 Monkeys is so good.
every single... I loved... I can't say enough. Raul Julia is great in that. John Hurt is also great, and they're great actors.
But I think I'd rather watch Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis interact together.
Yeah, especially since Bruce Willis decided not to take a paycheck
To make that movie.
to make that movie,
Yeah.
and so he put every ounce of himself into it, and you could tell he's a good actor.
Yes.
He's a good actor. Brad Pitt is a good actor.
Because, so, like...
And I love Raul Julia in this, but
yeah.
these guys, I think seems like they had more to lose because I'm in a Roger Corman movie.
Yeah.
Okay. He could have phoned it in.
He could have. That could have been a favor, and he could have just been
right.
another paycheck. But he
So I just think it edges it out.
So what you got to look at is, in my opinion, would you rather watch these two in their story, or would you rather watch these two in theirs? Because I love the stories, I love the action, I love everything about both of these movies. I really do. But I think Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis's chemistry sell 12 Monkeys
That
more
too.
than
Yes.
John Hurt and Raul Julia.
Right. And they've got plenty of chemistry. It works good together. So with Bridget Nielsen.
Yes.
But also, like we were saying just not too long ago, it's got to take place somewhere. So, here's the castle. We'll do it here.
Yeah.
Whereas
It's
they're combing through
Philadelphia.
garbage dumps to find stuff to put
Yes.
into their sets. And I really appreciate that. I like to look at movies too.
Yes.
And if there's something especially good to look at, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Whereas Frankenstein Unbound, it doesn't really have that.
No,
I don't
it
really
doesn't.
care about any of that stuff in it.
Like
Like his laboratory when he makes the female one.
uh-huh.
It's really cool. It's got all the all the stuff in it
Bits
that
and
you need
bobs.
from a 17th century
Yeah.
laboratory. And
But-
that looks really cool.
But the prison, and they've
The
got
prison.
that big ball of cameras.
yeah.
There's nothing in Frankenstein better than that.
No, there's not.
Not one thing. Not even the monster.
Even the time machine
Yeah.
in it is
Real
it
good.
works. Yeah.
You are on the edge of your seat throughout the entire runtime for 12 Monkeys.
You really are. You're like, what's going to happen? What is going on?
Yes.
And what's going to happen next?
Yeah. Because it's all out of order. It's all you.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Hey, wait a minute. That was from that. Forget about it.
Perfect.
There's way more stuff in it.
Oh, so good.
So would Frankenstein? It's Frankenstein versus Fantastic Voyage?
So we have 3 movies left, and it's Frankenstein, Fantastic Voyage, and 12 Monkeys.
Yes.
So then it's 12 Monkeys and Fantastic Voyage.
Would Fantastic Voyage beat Frankenstein? Period, or would?
You know, I don't think it would. In my opinion, I
know.
think it's kind of what you were just saying. Like you are sucked into Fantastic Voyage.
Mm-hmm.
The special effects, the sets, the
Stakes.
stakes, it's all absorbent.
Yeah.
Like you are wrapped, and you know what? It kind of like 12 Monkeys is like you're on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Right. I was just going to say that because like they keep having problems.
Yes.
And how are they going to get past this? And yeah.
And unlike oh well, here's a castle, here's a tavern. It's here's the inside of the human
Here's
lung,
a corpuscle. Here's
Here's-
the lung.
and like they feel like different places. They feel like
Yeah.
they're going to these places.
Yeah.
You're inside the heart, and it looks just like that. And it's insanely well done.
Yeah. And it's also basically a submarine movie.
Yeah.
And it's a lot like a lot of Star Trek episodes I like about something happens and they got to figure out what to do.
Yes. It's practical.
And there's a lot of that in it. And I like that in movies.
I think Frankenstein would have taken a knee to Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah.
So leaving us Fantastic Voyage and 12 Monkeys. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. Dude. It's not hard for me.
I think it's 12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys.
Because
I already
again,
made it big on the screen.
you've been cutting back to the screen, right? When we were
I was supposed to. Yeah, of course.
okay, good. So again, I've seen Fantastic Voyage. If you want to watch it next week, we can watch it next week. If you want to go upstairs and watch 12 Monkeys right now, I'll put it on. I will never say no. That is, I'm like my top 10 favorite movies.
Yeah, it might
It's like
be in
number
my top
6.
10. Yeah,
Like it's amazing. I
it
love
is.
that movie.
it is.
And I love it because it's well made, it's well directed, you've got great acting in it,
Mhm.
you've got a fantastic, compelling story.
Yep. Every frame is exactly the way he wanted
Yes.
it. It seems like, and well, it was
It
because he was a hard ass about
artist.
it. Like, remember that the hamster story I told you?
Yes.
So, but it shows and it worked, and
Uh,
it worked in the box office too, and
Yeah.
it made Brad Pitt
A
more
lot
of a
money.
star. I think it made him. This is what broke him out.
into
But it also
being an
gave
actual-
legitimacy to Bruce Willis, and it also gave legitimacy to Terry Gilliam,
Uh-huh.
who what was the movie right before the Brazil thing? They didn't
Yeah.
want that to happen, and he's like, "Well, this has got to happen," and it shows in every frame of that movie, every single one.
I feel comfortable giving it to 12 Monkeys because I feel like it's more of an artistic
Yeah,
property as opposed to a studio product.
yeah, exactly.
like,
it is, and it absolutely is.
Yes. This feels like it was like an indie movie. It's a passion project.
Mhm.
He wanted to make it this way. He put all of his time, money, love, and energy into it, and this is what he has to say.
Yeah,
Whereas Fantastic Voyage, it feels like a great blockbusting studio
yeah,
movie.
right.
I don't get
Yeah.
a sense of like director creativity. I don't get a set of like
No, it's all functional.
Yeah.
Like somebody's got to tell the camera where to point.
right.
Somebody had to write the script.
The art isn't in the direction. The art is
Yeah.
in the set design. Well,
Yeah.
it's not in the camera's direction. It's in the art direction.
Right.
I think that's what takes the cake for this one. I
Yeah.
think that just
I think
because
it's in CinemaScope too.
yeah, it's either in Panavision or CinemaScope.
Yeah, it's in one of those two. Whereas 12 Monkeys definitely isn't. And
No.
like we mentioned in the episode, sometimes the edges of the screen are
Curved.
curved. Like you use a wide angle, lens. And there's different lenses, and it's a movie person's movie.
Yes, it is. It is a cinephile's file.
Definitely.
It's a film bro movie. It's that's really it. That's what separates it. It's an artistic piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we both agree that 12 Monkeys
Yes.
was the gem of this season.
The gem of the season. And I would say the Black Scorpion was the underdog.
Yes, I was going to say that
Black
too.
Scorpion or Frankenstein.
Were the
Unbound.
unexpected.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Unexpected for you because I already knew Frankenstein was great.
I think Black Scorpion takes the underdog one just because we both went into it blind.
Yes, it does.
We both thought it was going to be just a
You're
great this podcast movie, and we
Yes.
both ended up loving it.
Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely
So,
right.
yeah, I
Every one
think,
of those things you checked off, right?
Our valedictorian is 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
Our salutatorian is the Black Scorpion.
Congeniality is Black Scorpion.
So, yeah, I think that takes it. I
Yeah.
think I might make a plaque or something for for
That
this.
would be cool.
And then at the end of it, rank those ones
Uh,
because that'd be cool. Because then you're gonna have a real diverse list of stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, that is Grindhouse's official ranking of these movies. Had a lot of diversity in here. Had a lot of more comedies than I thought we were gonna have. I
Yeah.
didn't realize how many comedies we did. But
I like
overall,
comedies. Funny ones.
I'm very proud and very happy with the selection we had. Check out 12 Monkeys.
Definitely check out 12 Monkeys.
Black Scorpion. Those are A's and B's.
Yes.
And
check out Frankenstein Unbound, just so they freaking
make it
put
on
it out
Blu-ray.
again.
Yeah. So that is it. That is our season 2 finale. Thank you so much for this epic journey. Unlike other shows, we will not be taking a 6-month hiatus. We'll be back next week with one of cinema's greatest masterworks. You have to watch it, Tom.
Yeah, you should watch it.
You really have to
Everybody
watch
should.
it because it's going to be something else. It's called Citizen Kane. It is.
Let me know where to
It's got
watch
one
it.
person's artistic vision,
Yes, it is. Orson Welles.
uncompromising on artistic vision,
Yes.
just like Terry Gilliam. And it's everybody should have to watch it.
Yes.
I
It is.
had to watch it the first time, but I loved it.
You know what's funny is I was never had to watch it. It was just on TV one day, and I was like, there we go.
Hey,
And I love it. I think this is when they say this is one of the greatest movies of all time.
mhm.
It
it is
one of the
often
greatest.
listed number one as
Yeah.
the greatest, and we'll be talking about all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, it'll probably be a nice big long technical specs episode.
Probably. But like your mother would never say it's the best movie of all time. And then when I start pointing stuff out to her, like it's the Beatles of movies,
Yeah.
she's like, I don't care. I like The Godfather.
Well, there's nothing wrong with The Godfather. Godfather's number 2.
Brilliant.
It insists upon itself.
Yes.
But I have been Cheese Film.
And I am Hecubus.
We'll catch you season 3. Don't miss it, Rick and Morty.
We ain't taking that long.